leave the key?
Leave the key. Yeah.
This lock has been the bane of my existence. I told you, it won't go another half turn. Has it been the key?
Oh no.
No. See, it does it when it's not in the door.
Never getting back in.
How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. Not sure if you can tell, but I am not in Belize. If you watched the last video, you saw me and Will make the trek from Key West down to Belize. We were off, I believe, San Pedro, Ambergris Key.
Yeah, you got it right.
Boom. Been practicing that. We've got a boat full today. We've got Will, you know him. This is Laylo. This is Will. Liam. Leon.
Come on.
And Chris. I practiced that 7 times. It's a little windy today, as you can see. We just wanted to get out and try and see if we could find some fish. This is our first day here. We're here for, I think, 4 or 5 days. And this gentleman right here, Will, is responsible for putting this whole thing together. I wanted to give a big thanks to him. You'll get to know him a little better in the next couple episodes. We're going to try and get as much footage here as we can. Belize is known for everything ocean. It's just a spectacular place. It's our first day here and we're already blown away. Will has roots here in Belize since he was 5 years old. He is your go-to guy when it comes to Belize. I'm going to put all his info in the description and in a pinned comment, but don't take my word for it. After you see these videos, I have a good feeling you're going to go want to check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel as well where he covers everything Belize, from real estate to spearfishing to the food, local cuisine, all that kind of stuff. So but yeah, we just got out here first thing this morning. Water looks great. We're gonna stay inside the reef for now. You can see some waves breaking out there. Water looks great. We're in the kiddie pool for Will.
Ah, come on.
We're gonna jump in and see if we can find lunch.
This is too deep.
This is too deep for me. Do you have any spots shallower than 8 feet? Let's go. There we go. Welcome back underwater, everybody. This is an exciting one. You know how much I love new spots, and completely new areas are even more exciting. What a magical place Belize is. We had so much fun. I could have swam around for hours and hours without even shooting stuff. So I actually saw a mutton just out in the distance. This is what this drop was for. I saw a mutton out there. I was just kind of grunting. But he didn't want to come back. Just getting in, getting my feet wet, get acclimated. Something I did do that I wanted to mention for those of you who are also filming and using the new GoPro 11s. I started messing with the white balance. So I got rid of some of that red that was coming in on the auto white balance. I set my white balance, I think it was around 5500, and I started shooting in 10-bit, and the videos seemed to be more realistic. This is actually what it looked like. The auto white balance was giving me a lot of red. You can see these spotted eagle rays just cruising along with the current. They really weren't concerned with what I was doing. We see these here and there in Key West, but they're never this docile. What a treat. Just beautiful creatures. And there were a lot of similarities when it comes to the Reef of Belize, and there was a lot of differences compared to Key West. Some of the spots felt like we were at home, but we were so much closer to shore. A lot of the spots were really shallow. These corals were just Beautiful. I'm not a marine biologist by any means. I don't know the names of all of them, but just what a treat. I know that we don't get these in Key West, whatever they are. So we're about an hour in. I had been tracking some fish here and there. The porgies were really giving me a run for my money. And you can see I kind of point to the front of this rock on the left. There were like 3 or 4 big porgies sitting on the front of that rock. And in my head, I'm going to go around down current, get behind it, swim down to the bottom and crawl around. And I kid you not, these things had PhDs. Here in Key West, the porgies are, they're hit or miss. Some of them are concerned with you, some of them don't pay you any mind. But I tell you what, the Belizean porgies had a spidey sense. So I'm coming around the corner, and I'm assuming they saw me the second I dropped because they were already gone. You can see off in the distance there's the shadow of one of the big ones, but they were giving me a run for my money, that's for sure. And I assume we're in shallower water. They probably get a little more pressure than some of the deeper stuff. It was really windy this day, so we stayed inside of the reef and the protected spots from the wind. Here's another set of them. The camera, a lot of them were staying so far out, the camera wasn't even picking them up. Typically, I'm not going down to the bottom and kind of stalking as much in Key West, but I didn't have a choice here. But it was fun, something new. I really enjoy anything new, and you know how much I love a challenge. So after swimming around for about an hour and a half or so, porgies were just eluding me. I decided I'm going to do what I know, and that is to stick my head in holes. Do a lot of hole hunting in Key West. I'm used to that. It's actually kind of funny. This is actually the first coral head that I decided to stick my head into. And I should have unloaded one band here. I saw the face of a snapper and I didn't hesitate just because the porgies were kind of frustrating me. I should have unloaded one band to shoot into that rock, but I just didn't want this one to get away and kind of rushed my shot a little. You can see a little high, kind of back on the head there, but it's my first fish in Belize. And you know I love my mangroves. It's kind of hard to tell. This fish was actually pretty nice, probably 18 inches, 19 inches. So after that commotion, I noticed that some of the porgies started to kind of come back and investigate a little bit. So what I was doing was I gutted that snapper. I was throwing that out, just trying to get some commotion going. You know, I always talk about action brings action. So I was throwing some of those leftovers from the mangrove out. I was going down to the bottom, throwing some sand up and down, and it did get a few porgies interested. You can see there's some smaller ones swimming around, but I was trying to wait for a couple of those bigger ones. But boy, they were smart. I see a few right here. These are, I mean, they're 11, 12 inches. I'm just looking for something with just a little more meat on it. See, I point to one out there in the distance. So I've got one in mind. He's out in the distance lingering. He's not leaving because of all the commotion I've been making. So I decide I'm going to go down, lay on the bottom, try and scratch and grunt and do whatever I can to try and get this thing to come in. You can see it's directly out from my gun right now. I'm just scratching on the rock. I'm using that fish, just making some noise. Trying to stay low and fairly still. And I just decide I'm going after it. It turns broadside and I take a shot and I was off. I was a little off this day. I'll be honest. I don't know. Maybe it was nerves. Not my typical shot. It's not often I don't take a headshot, but I was just thankful the fish didn't tear out. Was able to get my hands on it. This is about a medium size compared to some of the ones we were seeing. The big ones, the second you thought about shooting them, they took off. He's a 13, 14-inch fish. But I will take porgies all day. So there we are. First 2 fish I've ever speared in Belize, and it's like I never left Key West. 2 of my favorites. Nice mangrove snapper, found them rocked up in a hole. And I will say, you guys know how much I love porgies. I have never met a smarter porgy than a Belizean porgy. They literally won't even look at you. There were some that were, I don't know, 6-7 inches bigger than this, and the second I even thought about diving, they would take off and shoot out. I was trying to go to the bottom, crawl across, sneak up on them, and whatever I did, they were onto me, but I will take it. 2 beautiful fish, crystal clear water, doesn't get much better. Let's see what else we can find. How's your hair?
Yeah. How's my 6 hairs on top? How they doing?
Is that your toupee? So, something that is just mind-blowing to me. I know that everywhere is a little different, but like that's land right there, and I know the GoPro's really zoomed out, so it looks a little further. I mean, it's a quarter mile, maybe. Like our reef is about, on average, 6 to 7 miles from shore. We're well inside a quarter to half a mile, and the reef is right here. It's unbelievable. You can paddleboard and go spearfishing. What a magical place. Thank you, sir. I believe this was our 3rd spot of the day, I think. I learned that a lot of what they work on the inside is just channels where the water flows through the reef, and it gets a lot of fish trafficking back and forth. And this was right after I'd hopped in. I'm coming up against the edge of the reef, and I can see some porgies hanging out. Trying to get them to just stay in. Like I said, they were not convinced. And this one comes in just close enough. Kind of twitched when I pulled the trigger, but I'll admit I was just a little off this day. Got a little bit of meat there. What can you do? Brain and bleed as always. So I was finishing up getting this porgy cleaned up and gutted and whatnot, and I started to hear Will hollering. And it turns out a school of, well, what we thought were squid and then cuttlefish, but it turns out they're a different species called calamari, which is a type of squid. We did a lot of research trying to figure out exactly what they were.
Super cool.
From our understanding, they are calamari, which is a subspecies of squid. Could still be wrong, I don't know. But Will shot one, and they were kind of lingering, but they weren't really sold on me. and the camera doesn't really pick them up. If you pay very close attention, you can kind of see them squirming around up on the top of the screen, but they just weren't buying it. And I had never speared one. I thought it would be really cool to spear one, so I kind of treated them like a wahoo. I was pursuing them, but not like aggressively swimming at them. You can actually see them at the top of the screen right here, darting around. And realistically, I don't need 2 bands to shoot something that small and that soft. So again, I'm following them. They're just not buying it. And I'm not a big fan of Hail Marys, as you know, but this day I was a little off my game.
They don't like people. They do not like me.
So I'd kind of given up, and I started heading back towards the boat, and I don't know if it was a separate school or they circled back around. You can see a couple more come in. And I decided to give it one more go, just make a drop, see if I can get lucky here. I did my best to line up my shot, and I let it rip. And I could not believe I hit this thing. You can see them inking all over the place. At least I know my gun shoots straight, right? That or I got lucky. But first squid species for me. Like I said, from our understanding, they're actually called calamari. But just a beautiful creature. I tried to brain it. You know how I am, kind of a hippie. I don't know if that's a thing, but I gave it a go. Definitely stoked about it.
Bonus critter.
Super cool. Check it off the list. My first squid. I don't know if it's a squid or a cuttlefish. They said it's a squid. I can never tell the difference, but had a school of them come in. Luckily I was able to get a shot off and it stuck. Such a beautiful creature. Just stoked to be able to harvest one. I'm not familiar with cooking them, so I'm gonna have to default with cooking with Clam's will. I know he gets excited anytime anyone talks about squid, so I'm sure he'll be able to come up with something. I don't know if the camera picks it up. They've got this beautiful kind of blue-green right there above the eye. What a beautiful creature. What a great day so far. So we've got these boys breaking down the fish. You know me, I gut everything as it is, but they're taking it one step further, taking gills out, cleaning them up. Ready to make
Pretty
dinner,
cool.
man. Pretty cool. Oh, careful there, you're scaring me. He said, listen, old man, I've been doing this my whole life.
20 years.
I think I've got enough. I'm gonna
Take a
have
video of this one here when I get this one out.
I'm gonna have, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna, might enjoy me a beer. We got beers up there, don't we?
Yeah.
Might be time for a nice cold beverage. We're done out here. We've got plenty to eat. We're gonna call it. We'll grab some lunch. We'll get these fish prepped and have some fresh fish in Belize.
Okay, let me
So I can't remember if I said it or not. Layla was born and raised here. And he's been kind enough to offer to show us around this evening to try and find some supplies and ingredients so we can cook up some delicious stuff this week. He's gonna pull some strings right now.
This is, you want to see me happy. You don't even know what this is.
I don't know what it is. That's why I'm excited. So tell them what you're gonna do on your channel. So this is masa.
So Aaron got the cuttlefish, and normally people do calamari or whatever. I'm gonna stuff them. Normally in Italian and Sicilian culture, you stuff them with breadcrumbs, egg, a little bit of vegetables, and the tentacles. We're basically gonna do the same thing, but take away the breadcrumbs, and because we're in Belize, we're gonna use masa. I thought we were getting a little bit of masa. Laylo just hooked us up with 6 pounds.
Laylo does it big.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. So, all right, just so that I don't butcher it, a quick explanation of what masa is. Hang on. All right, so I could attempt, and then you tell me how wrong I am.
Sure.
So masa is basically like how you would end up with just plain ground cornmeal, but it's different. They add lard.
Yeah, lard. The corn is grinded into the smallest particles, of course, and they use water, and that's about it. They don't really use anything else right into it.
But the lard is what makes it like almost
like a putty?
It's almost like Play-Doh, but this is, you roll it into a ball and you press this, you have corn tortillas.
Yes.
But like the best corn tortillas you've ever had, because there's also lard. And that is the magic ingredient, and that's what's gonna make our cuttlefish super juicy.
Let's go.
All right.
So I'm excited. That's what Will's gonna be doing on his channel with the cuttlefish. If you want to see that, head over to Cooking with Clams. We're gonna go try and find some ingredients for ceviche. You can just pull right up.
Welcome to the
Next stop.
Let's get the radish right in front of you.
Alright.
Oh,
Look behind you.
that's beets.
Oh, beet, sorry. Radish was somewhere else.
Impulse buy. So we've got everything we need. Will is making masa stuffed squid this evening. The day kind of got away from us, so I think we'll get up tomorrow and make some ceviche for the day. See you guys tomorrow. So I've got a few of the porgies from yesterday. You know me, I love my porgies. We actually cooked the cuttlefish on Will's channel last night along with the mangrove snapper, but you know how much I love ceviche, and something about a tropical island just makes you crave it. So I was talking to the guys yesterday on the boat and just kind of wanted to get an idea of how locals enjoy it. So they kept it very straightforward: red onion, tomato, got some cilantro, and a little bit of local hot sauce. And I've got my lime juice, all local produce from one of the markets. So we'll get these porgies flayed up and make us a batch of ceviche. I'm right here in the backyard of the unit. Actually, I was gonna go find a beach or something, but it's actually so peaceful right here. I've been sitting out here listening to the birds all morning. That's how you know you're getting older, is when you listen to birds. There's our porgy. You can see it's just such a beautiful white meat. It's very soft and delicate. One of my favorites by far. And I'm actually going to save these. We did some of the racks last night for dinner as well. Bake them, pick all the meat out, and use some for tacos, but get the rest of these cleaned up. Two things I forgot to mention was these are, Chris said these are his preferred spices, a little bit of seasonal and Badia complete seasoning. And we are in Belize, so we're going to put a little bit of heat in there. Got a habanero pepper. Get this fish diced up and in the line. lime. Typically like it to go at least about 20 minutes, but it kind of depends on how much juice you got, how acidic the limes are. This is my first time making ceviche in Belize, so let's see what the lime juice is like. We're gonna throw a little bit of habanero in there, but I am gonna remove the pits because we are gringos. We like spicy, but not too much. I don't know if I could handle the seeds on this one. Oh, it smells so good. Beautiful. Love it. And I forgot one thing. I forgot the chips. All right. Let's give this a go. Fresh ceviche in Belize for breakfast. Ceviche never gets old. And as I always say, there are no rules. But Chris said this is how they enjoy it. Got red onion, tomato, cilantro, a little bit of habanero in there. That seasonal and the Badia seasoning as well. Let's see what it's like. Mmm. Chips are so crispy. That is right on. That porgy's so delicate. Like it could be a little bit intimidating when you use bigger chunks like that, but it's so just delicate. It's not chewy at all. I'm gonna try this for a little extra Belizean flair. This is all anyone's talked about. Marie Sharp's hot sauce. They got a bunch of different flavors and varieties apparently. Give it just a little bit extra. I could eat ceviche every day. This is pretty unreal. Eating ceviche next to the water in Belize. That's because of you guys. Can't thank you enough for all the support continuing to watch the videos. It really is, well, really is a dream. But that is all I've got for this one. Will actually ran out this morning to grab a coffee. Cooking with clams, Will. I think we may try and get out on the boat this afternoon with Will Mitchell. Again, I'm gonna put his info in the description and in a pinned comment. He has a YouTube channel as well. He has everything Belize. Anything you're looking for down here, he can help you with. He has been extremely generous when it comes to taking care of us. This is only our second morning and it's already been an amazing trip. Hopefully we're gonna get out on the boat at least one more time, hopefully get one more episode while we're here. But as always, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. I will get to them. And I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Mmm.